few tips for you on the different styles. So let's start with compete. Compete people feel really passionately about the topic, and so they're pretty direct about it, and that's what they expect of you. So one of the things you need to realize about the compete people is not to take them personally, that as passionate they are about the topic and as they come at it with that much energy, they're absolutely fine if you come back at them with that same amount of energy. You should pretty much have your logic thought out before you start with a compete person, because they will argue and challenge, but they expect you to argue and challenge back with them. So it's really important that you understand, that this is not a personal thing with the compete people. Also, what really bothers them is if you are quiet in a meeting and you don't address the conflict, and then you come back 3 days later and you say, well, I disagree. Because from the compete perspective, they're really wondering, what took you so long? Why didn't you say something in the meeting? And they also feel it's very dishonest not to tell them. Now, it's true, the compete people also have to listen and be open to another opinion. So you do have to be able to get a word in edgewise. So that's some tips about the compete people. The next one on avoiding, you can't force the avoiding people to tell you what they want, but what you can do is invite them in. It actually takes a lot of energy for these people to address a confrontational situation because their natural tendency is to avoid. So what you need to do is make it a safe environment and invite them in and even ask. And you can ask in a meeting and say, we've heard from everybody, we'd really like to hear from you as well. And your opinion counts for us as well. But you have to make it a safe environment for them to give their opinions. And remember, it takes energy for them to actually do conflict. The next one would be compromise. And people that are compromising are assertive and cooperative. So they're willing to give something up if you're willing to give something up. However, I would caution you that if you're not willing to give anything up, the people that are high scores in compromise might feel betrayed, like, okay, so I'm willing to give something up, but you're not willing to give something up, and that could shut them down. So when somebody's trying to compromise, that's what they're looking for from you as well. With accommodating, the thing that's surprising about accommodating is that oftentimes people will accommodate and accommodate and accommodate, and then if you don't ever accommodate with them, they may blow up at you, which will really surprise you, or they'll just drop out of sight. They could disappear on you. So one of the things is if somebody's constantly accommodating, you may want to really accommodate back because you could actually lose the relationship or be very surprised when they blow up at you because you back them up so far. And so you have to be looking for that. And lastly, on collaboration, the people that are collaborating usually are pretty good listeners and they're really looking for that win-win solution. It takes time, so sometimes if you feel like this is taking too much time, you could actually ask the people that are good at collaborating, if there's a time pressure on you, maybe to go to compromise. Because the only difficulty with collaboration is, one, it takes a lot of time, and also there's things you don't need to collaborate on, where you take so much time. So the thing is, you could say very nicely, this is great, I'd love for it to be win-win, but we really don't have the time to do this right now, so can we just compromise? So these are some tips for you, on dealing with the different styles. And actually, the conventional wisdom has phrases for all of these, within our language. So 2 heads are better than 1 would be collaborating. Kill your enemies with kindness would be accommodating. Let's split the difference is compromise. Let's leave well enough alone is avoiding, and might makes right would be competing. So you can see that there's a conventional wisdom phrase for all of these conflict styles.